As we continue our coverage of a closer look at health care reform, we sit down with two state legislators and get their take on the changes. But before they can even talk about reform, they describe what they have seen this summer in town hall meetings. Fox 13's Lauren Johnson joins us live in the studio with our continuing coverage. Lauren?
Hey there, Merle. Republican Marsha Blackburn has hosted nearly a dozen of these community forums. She's pleased with the turnout and says she's listening to her constituents. Her counterpart, Democrat Steve Cohen, says the meetings may be causing more harm than good. Both agree politics need to take a backseat for real change to emerge.
People are not listening to each other. They have their minds sort of made up.
Dr. Manoj Jain remembers the atmosphere at Congressman Steve Cohen's town hall meeting earlier this month. He describes it as road rage.
Wanting to yell and scream their thoughts out. I think this is harmful for the whole process.
Jain, a Mid-South doctor, is a proponent of overhauling the healthcare system. He's concerned with the fighting and the lack of listening. Those actions, he says, could be self-defeating.
I think there's a real sense of misunderstanding there that's happening.
In theory, legislators had hoped for a healthy exchange of ideas on healthcare reform. But when it plays out, Cohen says it's failing miserably.
I don't think they have been productive in finding that common ground that's so important. And I think what they've done is probably caused this proposal to maybe get more less bipartisan.
Cohen's town hall earlier this month ended with police being called in to control crowds. It's an all too familiar scene at community forums all across the country.
I think it's going to be turning into a political tool by both sides, and the real questions and real answers will probably not be addressed.
Jain worries the yelling and screaming at the town hall meetings are clouding the real issue at hand. Cohen agrees.
And I think any hope of making a bipartisan might be lost, and that's unfortunate because what we need is a bipartisan proposal because both sides really know there's a problem.
I think that the further we get into the debate, the less partisan the debate becomes, and the more philosophical the debate becomes.
Republican Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, who represents the 7th District, has seen calmer crowds than her counterpart.
The town halls I've had have been absolutely fantastic. We have people who are Democrats, who are independents, who are Republicans.
Blackburn says the turnout at town halls across the state prove people are concerned.
Right now, in these town halls, we see Americans who value the ability to freely assemble and express their opinion.
Opinions aside, legislators need to reach common ground before any real progress can be made for the greater good of America.
This is a journey. It will take time. We will learn from the mistakes that have been made in decisions on this.
Jain says it's time to put the past behind us and politics to the side in order to see the tremendous change that lies ahead. The question now, he says, how will we go about making the change? Well, tomorrow, Congressman Cohen and Blackburn share their thoughts on the current proposal and offer up their own options for change. Dr. Jain also weighs in on the conversation. Live in the studio, Lauren Johnson, Fox 13 News.